Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour. And if that's something you're interested in following along with, please don't forget to stick around and check out the other content that I've created for you on this channel. Now, Mr. Bowie has just joined me and he has decided that he needs to be needy, so we're just going to roll with it because I wanted to talk today about something that is not to do with January planning. It's not to do with like when am I going to get paid. It's not a budget recap. It is, if you can excuse the tale, Christmas budget planning. And it is never too late to start, even though it is the 8th of December. So happy Budgetmas, day 8. Today, Mr. Bowie and I are going to talk to you all about why you do need to have some kind of plan and budget for Christmas. And if you were sitting there having watched budgeting YouTube videos or followed budgeting TikTok or budgeting Instagram or budgeting Twitter or X or whatever it is, and you know that actually, although you should have probably started like thinking about Christmas earlier and you haven't, it's okay. Like, it's completely fine. Some people, for whatever reason, taking the emotions out of whatever kind of Christmas has, just do not have the time to start planning or budgeting Christmas until December. Some people literally have to wait until November's payday to buy things. Some people have to wait until the December payday on the basis that you get paid early to be able to afford to do Christmas. That's fine. If that's what works for you and you don't put yourself into financial difficulty doing it that way, go with it. But at the very least, let's take some stress out of Christmas by making sure that you have a really, really concise list of what you're doing and when. Now, I am someone who has always bought Christmas presents throughout the year. That is because I hate going into Christmas town centres. I don't really like shopping online for gifts for other people because I want to be able to have a good look and make sure that I'm 100% happy with what I'm doing and doing kind of a full 3D view. It's a bit different if I'm buying for myself because I'll have researched that as well. But I equally don't like going anywhere near town centres or shopping centres or outlet parks or anything like that from about December onwards. I hate it. And I have the misfortune of having to go in twice already in December. One was the first weekend and then this weekend coming up as well tomorrow, because I am playing taxi for my siblings. So they are people who leave it till later on in Christmas. I am 98% done, I want to say, on gifts. I've got a couple more little things that I need to get. None of them are particularly major or important, so if I don't end up getting them, it's fine, but they're on my list, and as I say, I do have the money set aside in my budget to accommodate that. Christmas has had an awful lot of pressure put on it with regards to gifting and the need or the expectation that you must either spend exactly the same amount on every single person that you're buying for. If they buy you something of X value, you therefore feel that you need to buy the same. That somehow handmade is cheaper. I have to say, as someone who is a maker, handmade is not always cheaper. In fact, if I total up the man hours, or the woman hours I should say, and the material costs and the costs of the, pretty much like you would a business, the cost of the machinery, maintenance and things like that, it turned out more expensive than a present that I would have bought. So I'm just going to say that it's not always cheaper to buy handmade, and if you are a maker, do not feel like you need to do handmade for people in your family. Don't devalue your skills by giving things away as gifts. Now, cooking something to take to a Christmas Eve or a Christmas Day gathering, completely different. If you're all kind of doing a potluck situation, one person's hosting and loads of people are bringing different dishes, fine. If you bake cookies or gingerbread or Christmas brownies or anything like that for the work kind of Christmas office, kind of as a Christmas thing, okay, fine. But what I'm saying is, just be careful if you are a maker or you are a creative not to sell yourself short, because the cost of those materials, and you have to factor in the maintenance of your machines. What if your machines break? If you're using tools or machinery, what if they break and you have to replace them in order to complete that gift? All of a sudden that's a very expensive gift. So Just think about that before you decide to go and do an entirely homemade Christmas in the resolve for something handmade or cheaper. Handmade doesn't always necessarily mean cheaper. Secondly, you don't need to equal out the value of an item. It's actually what that type of person is like. If you have two people, and let's take me and an imaginary sibling, and I'm going to blend my two siblings for this imaginary sibling, okay? So I am really happy that someone has put thought into something that they think I would like, particularly if I've given that person no guidance. Someone who has gone and thought, yep, I really think that, like, I know Nicole's talked about really liking or gravitating towards this particular art company, for example. Let's talk about paints. I know that Nicole has said she quite often goes to Hobbycraft, and she likes their little paints that they do. I wonder what I can find there. Maybe there's a Black Friday sale on. Now, am I going to expect this person, this gift giver, to know what exact shade of paint I have already, and therefore do I want them to get me something completely different or elevated or more? No, I'm actually really happy that this person has paid a little bit of attention to me and my personality, and has gone out and gone, yep, I know that this is going to be something this person likes. Okay. Versus an imaginary sibling who, wants to know that, yes, okay, you have spent X amount of money, but that X amount of money is a high value item, and that you have spent exactly the same amount of money on the two of us. I don't care whether my theoretical imaginary paints from Hobbycraft were £10, because actually I will find them useful, and that's someone who's put thought and effort in. An imaginary other personality, an imaginary sibling, parent, whatever, nephew, niece, may not be happy with a £10 gift because it's not high enough value, no matter how much you have thought about that person and how much you know that actually this little trinket, this one thing that you can afford to get them, is it. Like, you can't win with those people, so stop trying to balance out and value out the other. Don't feel like Nicole with her paints from Hobbycraft and imaginary name Jessica with her little stud earrings or whatever they are. Don't feel like because Jessica wants higher value earrings that you need to get Nicole higher value paints. You don't, okay? Work out who these people are, and if you want to tailor how you buy your gifts accordingly, do that. But actually just know that the people who are genuinely happy to receive a gift they're more likely to be happy about the fact that you've thought about them and their likes and their wants and their wishes than you are anything else. Now, obviously with small kids and stuff, it's always best. Sometimes I've found that because there are some people that have small children in my life that I've occasionally bought gifts for, it's always good to just double check with the parents and go, right, okay, what are their grandparents buying for them? What are they buying for them? What's something that you guys need? Like, as parents, what's going to find something useful to you? Like, can I actually get you a gift certificate for my services where I babysit for you for free in January so you guys can go out and have a date night? What if I offered to come over and do like bed and bath time with the kids, obviously providing that that's an okay relationship there. What if I came over and did bed and bath time so that you guys could just have dinner by yourselves without the little one screaming? There are things that you can do from a Christmas perspective, and to be fair, this doesn't just apply to new parents, this can apply to your parents or your siblings, or people in your social circle as well. What if I came over, that decking that you've been talking about putting up? Well, why don't I come over the next time there's a dry clear day and I'll help you do this next stage? And you don't even need to get me a coffee or anything, we'll just do that. There are ways around Christmas that doesn't involve spending a lot of money, but I do appreciate that it is very much unique to your family situation. For example, my mum absolutely insists on catering. I have tried doing my share of or offering to do my share of the cooking or bringing a dessert or anything. She doesn't want to know. She wants to, as mum, host Christmas for the family. She wants to do the cooking for it. She wants to do things like that. And then alternatively, she and my dad will not buy themselves a lot of presents, but what they'll do is they'll agree on an experience that they want to go to. So, and they take it in turns. So last year, Mum really wanted to go see Swan Lake at the Royal National Ballet. They went to Swan Lake. It's not my dad's type of thing at all. This year, they're planning on going to Comic Con in March. Not my mum's thing, but it's my dad's thing. So look at experiences for you and the family rather than purchasing just tons and tons and tons of gifts, because and I say this as a child who grew up in a household where the parents were constantly trying to equalise out gifts. They would agree a number, let's say 5. Mum or dad would find out that the other person had bought 2 extra gifts. They would then go out and buy 2 extra gifts. That person then found out that they bought extra gifts. They then bought another one, and so before you know it, the 5 gifts that they'd agreed on had grown to say 12, and so therefore had the budgeted spend. Now, in terms of like timelines and how you want to do this, if you are someone that cannot afford to even start thinking about Christmas until November, both financially and in terms of your time and your other commitments, then okay, but do a list of what you want to have done by when. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to try and show you, if I can. Because the cat is having a little bit of a moment. Hi, can I shift you? I love you lots, but I need to move you and remove that black head as well that's just on your lip, because that's horrible. It's not the moment, I know. Okay. Excuse me. So, okay, you can kind of see here, this is as best I'm going to manage. You can kind of see here there is a monthly schedule for December time. Now, if you have gone ahead and purchased a budgeting planner from anyone, and there is some kind of blank notes section in there, really good thing to utilize this for. If you ordinarily just carry around a little diary with you that's got a monthly calendar in there, use that for this. If you obviously do all of your calendars and you're organizing digitally, make like a separate entry specifically for Christmas. But this entry literally runs from the 1st of December all the way to the 30th, just down here at the bottom of the page that you can't see because my cat is having a moment. And I have literally gone through and I have marked out when schools break up, both myself as a trainee teacher, but also you as a parent. When do the kids land in your lap again full time? When do you need to go and make a plan for that? When's Christmas Eve? When's Christmas Day? When's Boxing Day? When's that falling? Am I going to go? Now, I did this ages ago, so the last shopping weekend was not the 2nd or the 3rd. It's actually probably going to be the 8th and the 9th. No, the 9th and the 10th. When's the last shopping weekend going to be? When are you going to get that done? When are you going to buy your fresh food, your frozen food, and your cupboard staple food if you haven't already? Now's the time where I also really briefly mention the fact that Christmas cupboards are a wonderful thing, and most cupboard staples that are Christmassy you can start buying from August. You will find Christmas things in the shop that can sit in your cupboard from then, and the dates last. Same as well, some cheeses and cold meat cuts and things will have shelf life dates that go beyond Christmas as of about October time. So you can even start spreading those out. Your frozen bits tend to come in and start appearing in the aisles of any supermarket around about then as well. And as long as you've got freezer space, do it. Spread the cost of that Christmas as much as you can, if you can. If your budget doesn't allow you to until November or December, then just make a note of actually trying to get that done. So plot in your dates and use those sets of dates as your survival guide, basically, so that you know, right, I'm absolutely going to be done. And also things like, when are you going to wrap presents? Is it a case of, if you've got small children and Santa still exists, because of course he does if you're a small child and an adult like me, obviously, is there anyone around who can, if the kids are prone to waking up late in the evening when you're if Santa's trying to wrap some presents, who's around that can maybe have the kids on an overnight? Can they go stay with Nanny and Grandad, or an aunt and uncle, or their cousins, to help you help Santa wrap those presents, guys, you know what I mean? And then hide them. How effectively are you hiding your Christmas presents? Because if, like me, you discovered them in Mum's shoe cupboard, and then had to pretend 2 years in a row because they hid them in the same place 2 years in a row. And then I think I said to Mum at like 10 years old, you need to find a better hiding place because I know where Santa's hiding the presents. They're in the shoe cupboard before you send them up to Father Christmas. And those are my words. Yes, I was that child. And things like that. If you have got to send cards, I know it's an old-fashioned thing these days, but some people still love sending and receiving Christmas cards. When are you going to write your cards? When are you going to post them? When are you going to address them? When are you going to post them? When's the work Christmas do times 1, 2, 3 and 4? Is your partner going to any work Christmas do's? No, you expected to attend as well. Do you have enough clothes in your wardrobe for those annoying Christmas do's? And you know what? If you're going to sack it off and not even do it this year, more power to you. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to the school Christmas do this year. I've got far too much on. And it's right at the tail end of a deadline week, and I'm funny, and I'm not being funny. I don't want to go nibble cheese and wine in a school hall. Sorry, I just can't do it. And then once you've worked out your dates, and you know what, don't worry if your dates change, but just have them there as a mental note, because December's going quick. Next week is my last full week of school. I have a week and a half left of this term. It is coming up really, really, really quick, and that therefore means it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys. It's 2 weeks. Until the school breaks up and Christmas happens. So do that. And please, please, please just check and track what you're spending. If your total budget for Christmas, all in, is £1,000, nice round numbers there, guys. That's all the presents, all the food, all the decorations, the replacement lights because your hubby got them down from the loft and you realise that actually the lights are broken because you didn't pack them away properly last year, or you put the baubles away and a load of them smashed, or something that was handmade has got crushed and broken. Just track what you're spending. I don't care what you spend on Christmas. This is not the type of channel where I turn around and go, you should only spend X on Christmas and you should only do this. It's not for me to say. Some years I've gone massively overboard by my own standards of what I've spent on Christmas, and I've not regretted it. I've just made a note that I couldn't afford to do that next year. Equally, this year, I'm trialling a slightly different way of doing things. I bought throughout the year, and actually it means that I'm really lucky, and now I only just need to buy the fresh food. Apart from that, I'm fine. I will let you know as a maker designer that sometimes handmade is not the cheapest thing that you think it is. But I'm not going to tell you to not buy handmade. I'm just going to tell you to bear that in mind. If you are a maker designer yourself and you're thinking that's a good way to hack Christmas, just be mindful of what you're giving away for next to nothing, basically. But I'm not going to tell you not to do that. You spend whatever you want to spend on Christmas. Should I technically, as a YouTube budgeter, advise you to save throughout the year for Christmas? Yes, of course. Have I done that myself? No. I fully stuffed Christmas as a sinking fund in September of this year because I received a student loan payment that enhanced my income. I wouldn't have been able to do that without that payment. And then I had to take about £100 of it to cover a cat's emergency vet bill, and it's still coming out of my December payday, or my November for December payday. So is there a wrong thing I did anywhere along that line? No. Did my budget equally for the last year allow me to save monthly for Christmas? No, it didn't. And that's the real key difference. If you cannot afford to save monthly for Christmas into a sinking fund, don't put that pressure on yourself. An emergency fund or a vet fund or a kid's new school uniform fund is more important. But just be mindful that when it comes to Christmas time, don't over leverage yourself with what you need to save for. Don't go and put it on a credit card. Please don't go and put Christmas on a credit card. No one will thank you for it, including yourself. Don't go and take out loans for Christmas. It's not worth it. If you can't afford to give gifts, give a service, give your help, give some form of you. Go sit and if you know you've got a friend you've not seen for a while, go visit them. Make that your Christmas present. If you know that mum and dad are getting on a little bit and they need some help around the house, go help your dad with that hobby or that thing that he needs doing. It could be painting the skirting boards. It could be putting up a little bit of coving. Make that your Christmas gift. And you can make those vouchers for your time really easily with a little bit of crafting and cutting and sticking. If that's what you can do, please don't over leverage yourself on Christmas. Do not beat yourself up because you've seen budgeters and budgeting channels, and I'm at fault for doing this myself because I always do. Don't beat yourself up and go, but I haven't saved every year towards Christmas, like over the year. I've bought my presents throughout the year personally, and I'm still looking there going, I still don't know if really that's the right thing to do. Because there's one person, my sister, my sister Jessica. She's not Jessica at all, but this sibling, this sibling of mine who has a very set way of liking and doing things. I'm still looking at what I've got her and going, I don't know if that's a present you're going to appreciate, but it's what I bought back in April, so it's what you're getting. Next year I might not choose to buy throughout the year, and I equally don't know yet if I can save throughout the year either. I've got this thing here that's costing me a ton of money in heart scans and medication and food a month. I have my own stuff going on, and I may potentially need to move house as well. Like, nowhere in my immediate top 5 list of priorities is there a Christmas, and that's fine. But the moral of this story, of me rambling and you looking at a cat's twitching tail and the same thing, because I've literally just had to improvise on the fly. The moral of the story for Budgetmas video day 8 is, however you get Christmas to work for you, that's fine, but just make sure that works for you, okay? Don't over leverage yourself. Don't chase a picture perfect Instagram, TikTok, Christmas dream. Just, if you need to think outside of the box to make Christmas fantastic, think outside of the box. It's more fun. I'm going to love you and leave you. I will see you tomorrow for Budgetmas Day 9. I hope you have a fantastic budgeting week, day, month, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.